What's going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to look at what's going on with Bitcoin. We are reaching a very important resistance level, so we're going to look at that on the chart, and I also want to go over Sphere 3D. This is a very small cap Bitcoin miner. I do think it has a very high risk to reward. It is extremely high risk, but I do think there's a lot of reward there in the coming bull run. Sorry if I sound like I'm coming down with something, but let's take a look at Sphere 3D and their recent mining update that came out a few days ago. And I'll leave the link down below for you guys, along with some links to some free stocks and cryptos. But this came out a few days ago, and this is regarding September's mining update. Now, let me remind you that this is under a $20 million market cap company, so don't scoff at their Bitcoin production. In September, they mined 63.6 Bitcoin, which is up 9.1% from August and 473% up year over year. Their month-end operating hash rate was 1.3 exahash, which didn't move much from August, but it is up nearly 13 times year over year. And their operations achieved an 84 Bitcoin to exahash efficiency. So why didn't they mine over 84 Bitcoin? Because they're apparently over 1 exahash. Well, that is because curtailments from higher temperatures. Uptime was 66% due to curtailments from higher temperatures at several sites. And here's a chart of what they're doing with their Bitcoin over certain periods of time. Back in September 2022, they mined about 11 Bitcoin, whereas our update just said 63 Bitcoin now. Of this 63 Bitcoin that they mined, they did sell nearly 50. So it is nice to see them still working on adding some to their balance sheet. Their mining revenue was 1.7 million, and they're currently holding 16.5 Bitcoin. They got down there nearly to zero. Last month's update, they got to 2.8 Bitcoin left on their balance. So hopefully from here moving forwards, we do see them kind of working on adding a little bit of Bitcoin to their balance over the months, while utilizing the rest to grow. Current miners deployed, just like Hashrate, remained the same from August to September. Currently, they have 12,450 miners hashing. And we do have some comments from the CEO. We mined 63.6 Bitcoin in September, representing a 473% increase year over year, and a 9.1% increase from August. Now, as for the higher production in September, that was driven by reduced curtailments as a result of lower temperatures at our hosting sites. And looking forward, we expect curtailments to continue to improve as we enter the winter months, which should result in higher Bitcoin production, all else equal. So that tells me that they should mine more moving forwards as we start seeing these cooler temperatures, and we'll have less issues with needing to have curtailments. Now, we do have some recent updates here regarding Core Scientific. On June 9, 2023, Core filed a motion for summary judgment seeking the summary dismissal of Sphere's claims. However, on August 7, 2023, the bankruptcy court held a hearing on this motion for summary, and the court did enter a motion for denying the summary judgment. This is good for Sphere 3D. And the bankruptcy court subsequently entered a scheduling order that calls for a merits hearing in the first quarter of 2024. Sphere 3D intends to continue to vigorously prosecute the matter. So we'll likely have to wait until the first quarter of 2024 to hear any more Core Scientific news. And also we have a Griffin update. Although this merger was dead in the water probably years ago now. But they do say on October 6, 2023, Sphere 3D terminated, effective immediately, the master services agreement between Sphere and Griffin, dated back in August of 2021 as amended on December 29, 2021. This merger was big news long ago when Sphere 3D was right around $6 to $8. And this is part of the reason it pumped to $6 to $8. But once this merger was terminated, it dropped like an absolute rock. However, that said, I don't think Sphere 3D needs Griffin, but that would have been a substantial increase in hash rate, substantial increase in their mining abilities. Let me know what you guys think about this Bitcoin mining update from Sphere 3D. I want to show you something really interesting. Yes, this is an extremely high risk, high reward miner. They have such a small market cap. Of course, they're unprofitable, just like all the other miners. But I want to show you something very interesting. From a hash rate to market cap perspective, this company is extremely attractive. And I believe it's discounted just because of its small cap, risky nature. And to be fair, comparing it to the other miners, this is probably the highest risk, but I do think it's also potentially the highest reward with an under $20 million market cap. Meaning, if someone wants some Sphere 3D shares, and we're in this bull run, things are running crazy, you know, you throw 100 million in a clean spark, that'll rise the share price probably somewhere around 10 to 20%. You throw $100 million into Sphere 3D, the market cap and subsequently the share price will go up dramatically more with $100 million put into Sphere 3D. It would bring it to a $116 million market cap, somewhere around at 6 to 8 times its current market cap. So it would 6 to 8 times the share price. So I do believe with this such a small cap nature, Sphere 3D can run huge in the bull market. But I do think this is one to kind of wait to see where things really start going crazy. As many of you know, I don't hold this. I hold Iris, CleanSpark, and Riot, but I'm keeping an eye on this. This could be my lotto play here. But what I wanted to show you that's so attractive hash rate to market cap wise we're looking at a $16 million market cap company. They're mining at a 1.3 exahash. Let's compare it to CleanSpark, for example, which actually has a very attractive hash rate to market cap compared to some of the bigger ones. We have CleanSpark mining a 9.5 exahash currently, and they're at roughly a $651 million market cap. So doing the math, you'll see here to times 16 million by 40, which is the market cap of Sphere 3D, that would equal roughly the market cap of CleanSpark. Sphere 3D is 1/40th the market cap of CleanSpark. Meanwhile, they're mining right around 1/6 to 1/7 the hash rate. You can see there's a huge discrepancy there, and it might be due to just the riskiness of Sphere 3D compared to these larger miners. The fact that maybe they're overlooked because they just mine such a smaller amount of Bitcoin. But when looking at the market cap to hash rate, I gotta say, Sphere 3D has a very attractive hash rate to market cap. But let me know what you think about that down below. Now, one reason why I would wait to enter into Sphere 3D is because it's extremely bearish on the chart. We literally just created new lows only a few days ago. However, currently we are seeing a nice W shape, W pattern. We might see a push up towards the first EMA, which is the 50. They're in a bearish order. Typically, you want to see the 50 above the 200 and the 100. However, this isn't the case here. They're all in a bearish order and they are pointing down. But I do think later in the market cycle, later in the Bitcoin run, Sphere 3D can be a very attractive miner to get into. Now, looking at a more bullish chart, Bitcoin is actually starting to look very nice. We had this recent drawdown from about 28,000 to around 26,000. We started having a little move up over this last weekend. And then we had false news of the spot ETF being approved. And like I said in my previous video, this shows us what kind of a move it can do on approval. I mean, it run from roughly 27 to about 30,000 in a very short period of time. Next time, if we get confirmation of the spot ETF, we are going to see a huge run like that. It's kind of a dress rehearsal. It shows us what it'll be like. And we are starting to see those big pops on positive news, which is a great thing. Long story short, that spot ETF news was false, and it caused it to pull back into the 28s. What I want to see is I want to see a break of 28,600, and I want to see us maintain this. This was a previous important support. You'll see just how many times we bounce off of it. We saw an accelerated move to the upside when we broke it. We saw an accelerated move to the downside when we broke it. So I do think a break of 28.6 is very important to see for Bitcoin. And what I would prefer to see here is some consolidation right in between this previous resistance and our new resistance. If we can consolidate here, reset that RSI towards neutral, we can have a nice run that can maintain. However, I do think if we just break out right here, we'll quickly become overbought on the RSI. People will start taking profits, and we may break down under that 28.6 again. So ideal scenario is a little sideways action until we push out and break out and hold 28.6. But let me know, guys, how do you feel about Bitcoin right now? I do think it's looking a little better on the chart. And how do you feel about Sphere 3D? I do think that while this is very high risk, it's an extremely small cap miner. The small capness of it, for lack of a better word, could be what causes the huge gains. We just need to be in the right market first. And for that reason, I want to wait on Sphere 3D, but keep a close eye on it. Because when money does start flowing into these Bitcoin miners heavily, Sphere 3D can definitely outperform these other miners just due to the small cap nature of it. I mean, for it to 5x, you need to put in somewhere under $100 million. Money can flow in very quickly. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.